You were MP for Mississauga-Streetsville as I was the new rookie MP for Papineau, and we sat together, learned a lot, and really developed a deep commitment for service to the people of Canada that we've both continued in different ways, but it is so good to have you here with me today, old friend. Just this week, you made, Bonnie, the decision that all Mississauga City employees will have to be vaccinated. That's the kind of local leadership that will see us through this crisis. So thank you again and again for stepping up, Bonnie. And that's the kind of leadership that people like Omar and Adnan, who've welcomed us here today, deserve. They're the owners of this restaurant. They were telling me, while things are getting better, we're not out of the woods yet. They struggled, like so many small businesses did through this pandemic, but we've made it through because Canadians were there for each other, because the government was there for them. And of course, Omar and Adnan aren't the only ones to know that we still have to work hard to get through this. In a few days, school will be back here in Ontario. And I'm a dad. My youngest, Hadrian, is heading into grade 2 in an Ottawa public school. He can't get his shots yet. And like millions of parents, I'm worried. But there's a lot we can do to protect kids, just like our workers. And the single most powerful way to keep each other safe? Getting vaccinated. Dès le début de cette crise, on savait que Quebec or gym or other non-essential locations must be fully vaccinated and show proof. We'll pay for the development and rollout of that program. A vaccine mandate for non-essential businesses is a good idea. It keeps people safe, it encourages everyone to do the right thing, it keeps our businesses open, and it keeps our economy rebuilding. In fact, a top bank economist has warned that provinces that don't bring in these vaccine mandates will have slower job creation and a weaker recovery than those that do. And that's not good news for jobs, for businesses, or for anyone. This is about doing the right thing and the smart thing. Already, Premier Horgan and Premier Legault have stepped up. And I certainly hope that here in Ontario, Premier Ford steps up as well. It's time for him to listen to public health officials and leaders like Bonnie Crombie. And we'll be ready when he does. Because keeping you safe, that's my top priority. And not just through this fall, but over the long term, too. Chaque Canadien va pouvoir put those 2 shots on your to-do list. We can't afford to stop now. And we certainly can't afford a party that would roll back our progress. And that's why this election matters so much. Because from vaccines to $10 a day childcare, none of this happens if Erin O'Toole is sitting across the table from Doug Ford or any other premier. Leadership is about choices. And our choices? We chose to raise taxes on the wealthiest 1% so we could lower them for the middle class. We chose to fight for $10 a day childcare right across the country. Nous, on a fait le choix de travailler ensemble. Those are his choices, and they're the wrong choices. He can't tell Canadians why he doesn't think everyone boarding a plane or a train should be vaccinated. Those are his choices, and they're the wrong choices at exactly the wrong time. That's what's at stake in this election. And the path Canada takes, well, that's up to you. That's your choice. I want to take a moment right now to talk about those folks outside, as there have been at a number of stops along this campaign, who are protesting masks, who are protesting vaccines, who are angry about public health measures like lockdowns. That's their choice. That's a choice that they are expressing loudly and clearly. But it's not just a choice that they're making for themselves. It's a choice they're imposing on others. Because we only get through this pandemic, we only finish with this pandemic if everyone steps up, not just for themselves, but for each other. My son's 7 years old. He can't get vaccinated. Thousands upon thousands of kids across the country depend on adults doing their part and getting vaccinated, on making the smart choices to keep each other safe. So it's not just about you. It's about everyone you love. It's about our doctors and emergency workers who are getting more and more overwhelmed with people who haven't gotten their vaccines. It's about being there for each other. And it's about finishing the incredibly hard work that we've done as Canadians over the past year and a half. People stepped up. Omar and Adnan were telling me how difficult it was over the past 17 months, how much they relied on government supports to get through this, but also how much they relied on their neighbors, their customers, to keep doing the right things so we could get to this point. And things are starting to pick up again. Things are getting back to normal. Well, those folks outside and the politicians who agree with them are endangering that. And that's the choice people here in the GTA and right across the country get to make about how we finish this fight against the pandemic, how we continue to be there for each other. The Conservative leader won't care workers for the Canada we want to build together. This is our moment. This is our choice.